Chairman of the Standing Committee on Finance, the representative of the Chairman of the Standing Committee on Appropriation, members of my colleagues and members of Finance and Appropriation Committee, distinguished senators here present, the Executive Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Services, your guests from the African Tax Administrative Forum who are here with us, other stakeholders here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first do apologize for the lateness of this program. Really, I was in Lagos yesterday and I received a delegation from the private sector who were complaining about the Apapa port gridlock and how long it was taking for goods to come out because of the situation, and insisted this morning I must do an aerial inspection of the situation in Apapa. So I had to get a helicopter this morning and go over Apapa to see the situation. We hope our Senate will do another matter not for taxation, but I guess if they're not making money, there's less tax you will collect. So, but it is a very serious matter, and we will see what we can do with the Senate intervention to really begin to address this particular problem. So let me apologize for that. Distinguished, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to this public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Finance on these three bills, which are of immense benefit to all Nigerians, particularly the two bills to do with taxation, tax incentive management and transparency bill, SB 331, and company Tax Act 2004 Amendment Bill 2017, and the other bill, of course, to do with considering the project in the annual budget of the Federation for matters connected therewith. My personal presence is really the importance in our legislative agenda we have put to the issue of tax collection, tax revenue, diversification of our revenue base. As we all know that we're still very low on the amount of revenue coming in due to taxation as a percentage of total revenue. I'm happy that we have our colleagues from other parts of Africa. So maybe this time we can learn from you, because our percentage is still low compared to other African countries. My last, I think, is about 4%, if not less than that. And we think we should be much higher than that. And these are bills that we hope that will help us in trying to improve on tax collection and the revenues from non-oil, so that will provide a better foundation and a more solid foundation for our revenue base. Of course, also important is the issue of transparency in the areas of tax laws and tax administration. We have seen over the years, through various investigative areas in the Senate, that have arisen for an arbitrary award of waivers, tax holidays, exemptions, and the likes. And from our findings, we've realized that there hasn't been a proper process by which such decisions are taken, or proper legislative framework that provides for transparent tax incentive management. So the Tax Incentive Management and Transparent Bill will go a long way in entrenching transparency, accountability, and sound economic management on a sustainable basis. It will aid efficiency and empower the relevant stakeholders, the right structures for a proper review of the financial and tax stream of any specific entity when necessary. I think this is very, very important that we can seize this opportunity to ensure that those agencies who are involved in this tax administration can also have the right framework in order to be able to implement there. There's nothing wrong sometimes in the issue of incentives, but the problem is to see that they are properly done and they're properly managed transparently. I think that is what is key, and that is what we lack presently. And we've seen this in several other committees who have looked at concessions, duty waivers, grants, etc. The tax incentives, as I said, if it's not properly managed, we have seen, it's a source of revenue drain. Therefore, it is important that we put this. This will help to block leakages, at the same time encourage investment in the right sector. So I do hope that we'll get a lot of important feedback from this public hearing. Secondly, of course, we have the Company Income Tax Amendment Bill. This is a short amendment to existing act. The proposed amendment will encourage investments in industry and mining sectors of the economy, especially in the rural areas where ordinarily would have been unattractive to invest. It is expected that when this CETA bill is passed into law, economic activities that will be generated through tax moratorium assured by this bill will pilot the much canvassed employment opportunities for our qualified youths and open communities where these companies are sited. The third bill is a constituency project budgetary provision bill. It's an important development bill as well. This bill will ensure that every local government is covered in the allocation of projects for the purpose of infrastructure development and wealth creation in the annual budget. In some African democracies with similar presidential systems as ours, like Kenya and Uganda, there exist legal and institutional frameworks for the implementation of constituency projects. This is to forestall controversies that might arise because of the poor understanding of the implementation process. I'm hopeful this bill will aid constituency project implementation oversight and ensure its equitable distribution and execution. It is pertinent to educate the public that this bill is not to empower National Assembly members to take 20% of the annual budget to use for personal consumption. That has always been the false understanding of constituency projects, even amongst the most educated ones. Members of the National Assembly merely identify the needs for their constituents and recommend to the executive during budgeting. Ultimately, National Assembly members have no direct control over the release of funds, and all payments are processed and effected in accordance with government regulations. I thank the chairman and members of the Senate Committee on Finance for their dedication and commitment to ensuring we begin this new session by considering these bills, which are all in tandem with our legislative interventions in the 8th Senate. I also thank the sponsors of the three bills, Senator Aliyu Sabi, Senator Andrew Uba, and Senator Stella Odua, for the quality of the bills, which was well received by the Senate during the second reading. I also thank all invited guests for making it to this public hearing. Your presence here today is a reassurance of your commitment to enhancing the quality of these bills that will benefit Nigerians. Let me assure you that the Senate has not taken any position on any of the sections of the proposed bills. It is your input here and those made before now that can help us enact a balanced, all-inclusive legislation that is far-reaching and implementable. I therefore urge you all to feel free and contribute to this public hearing. I wish you all a successful deliberation. I hereby formally declare this public hearing open. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir.